Welcome to the Travel Squad podcast, where adventure meets inspiration. We're your hosts. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Jamal. Together we explore international destinations, hike epic national parks, and share unforgettable travel experiences with you, one passport stamp at a time.
Our mission is to inspire you to travel by showing you how you can make it work no matter your budget, schedule, or experience level.
We bring you along so that you can laugh, get excited, and start planning your own trip.
So grab your ticket and your passport.
And don't forget your travel insurance.
And get ready to embark on a new adventure with us around the globe.
Hey, Squaddies!
Hey!
Travel Squad Podcast is back with Just the Tip, a new Friday mini episode series where we give you quick travel stories, hacks, and recommendations to set you off into the weekend right.
Today, you have myself, Brittany, and Kim, and we're doing a special episode on girls' trips.
We wanted to talk about girls' trips because there is something so special about a girls-only trip. Whether it's just you and another gal, or you have a big group of girls, or something in between, every girl loves a girls' trip. Well, maybe not every girl, but we love a girls' trip.
Yes. I mean, the girl talk, you can get into those really good, deep conversations that you wouldn't have with your partner around, right?
Truly, like we talk about everything, like, oh, I'm on my period, or I was dating this guy, or these are the new health things I'm trying, the workouts I'm trying. Can I borrow your makeup? Oh, here's some makeup tips, some hair tips. Like, and it could be high level, but you also get really deep on these trips too.
Yes. You know, Kim is single, and we have been talking about Kim being single for a few months now. We get deep in the conversations about what she's looking for in her future partner.
Which, by the way, is muscular, rich, and obsessed with me.
Oh, my goodness. We talk about the icks she finds in men. We talk about careers. We talk about money. We talk about the future and our hopes and dreams.
And Jamal might not know it, but we talk about relationships.
And then beyond the girl talk, because you can girl talk for hours into the late night. I know every time like I go out to see you and I land late, we're always up to like the wee hours of the morning. Or when we saw Robin in Georgia, we were all in the hot tub and we're like, oh, we got to go to bed. And then like 2 hours later, we're like, no, we really have to go to bed.
There's so much laughing and like giggling, and it's really fun. The camaraderie on a girls' trip is like no other. We are a band of girls who have each other's back like no other. Like, you need a straightener, someone has it. You need a tampon, someone has it. You need to borrow clothes or get outfit advice. You know it's going to be there.
Yes, like we learn how to pose from each other, take the best pictures. This is what I learned. And we're just constantly cheering each other along the way. Like when we were in Havasupai Falls, you know, we were taking our Instagram shots in our bikinis, but Kim's cousin, Savannah, she was so funny. She was doing like a little strip tease from her hiking shorts into her bathing suit, and she threw her shorts at the camera, and we were just laughing and cheering her on, and it was so much fun.
There's so much hype on a girls' trip. You're hyping each other up like no other.
Yes, I love that. And it's like, oh, do you need that? I've got you. Or someone in the group does, right?
Usually, yeah. And usually, you know, your bonds could form really close throughout a girls' trip. I mean, I'm sure there's been girls' trips, not necessarily many that I've been on, but I'm sure there's girls' trips too where it could go the other direction, where there's some fights on a trip.
That'd be terrible.
I've heard, I think I heard, well, I don't want to name any names, but I've definitely heard of trips where you don't come back as close with people. But hey, girls' trips are a good way to weed out the bad ones and keep the good ones.
Find out who your close friends really are.
Lots of character being built on these girls' trips. You know, only the strong survive.
Yeah, I was thinking about like when we're on vacation and it's a squad, usually Jamal does the driving. But when we're on a girls' trip, we don't have dad to drive the car up the windy mountain roads while we nap in the back seat.
Yeah, by the way, I did that on our trip back from Havasupai Falls. I drove. I was driving on these windy mountain roads through the El Centro desert, and I did that.
I'm so proud of you because on the way there, you're like, I don't know, let's look at the map. And you were like really nervous, but I was so tired after our hike out of Havasupai Falls that you had no choice but to drive after my first 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you did it. And I was so proud of you. So you can do it anywhere, Kim.
Well, as we look to go to West Virginia in June for our first trip meetup, by the way, it's a really good time to mention this. We are doing a trip meetup in West Virginia. We're staying at River Expeditions in their cabins, your choice of cabin. We're doing a beginner's whitewater rafting, an intermediate whitewater rafting, zip lining, s'mores, campfire conversations. It's going to be really, really fun. You can sign up for that on our website, travelsquadpodcast.com. And if you're going to fly into Charleston, West Virginia, like I'm looking at, the roads look a little windy. It's about an hour drive into River Expeditions. And I was thinking about flying in there. I know you two are flying into Columbus, which is like 3.5 hours away. Also windy, by the way. I'm like, am I at that level now where I could handle this level of windy? I don't know what kind of windy it is, though. Is it a drop off a cliff? Or is it like the desert where you won't die necessarily if you go off the curve?
You can totally do it. And no, as we talk about building character, one of our last girls' trips we took was backpacking and camping. And I think I learned so much about like myself and like my abilities and all of that. And you learn it about your friends and about yourself. And I feel like it's like a big thing about self-discovery when you're on a girls' trip as well. Like that can be an aspect of it.
Yeah, like I don't need no man. I could pump my own tires up with air. Oh, gas? I can get my own gas. You know, oh, there's some weirdo who popped out from behind the fence out in West Jesus and probably has guns. Like, oh, we'll just get back in the car and scurry away. Like, we got this.
Yeah, we've had some sketch situations on some girls' trips, but like you said, Kim, something wild can always happen on a girls' trip.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. In breaking news, leading scientists worldwide are conducting experiments to determine if Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. However, it appears the study was inconclusive, as the scientists couldn't help but eat all the Reese's. Because when you want something sweet, you can't do better than Reese's. Find Reese's now at a store near you.
I've been on a ton of girls' trips. Brittany, you've been on some too. What's been some of your favorite girls' trips that you've taken?
I'm more of like a one-on-one person. So I've done a girls' trip with one of my good friends. We went to Sedona. We went hiking for a few days and we don't live in the same state. So we both flew in and planned our trip to like our flights to land at the same time. We got in the rental car and we like caught up on the drive up from Phoenix to Sedona, did a lot of hiking over the weekend, and it was just nice to be away. And Sedona is one of those like really relaxing, rejuvenating places. So that's definitely high on my list. I also did another girls' trip where we went to Bryce Canyon and we went hiking, and then we did a guided hike through a slot canyon in Kanab, and that was really cool. And it's something I've never done before, this slot canyon out in the middle of nowhere, booking this guide so that we don't get lost. And it was really fun. Like, I definitely got closer to my friend on that trip.
Real deep conversations you can have. Those one-on-one trips are amazing. I took a one-on-one trip with Charlotte, who we've mentioned on this podcast many times. She's an honorary squad member. And we went out to Palm Springs. We did a hike out in Palm Springs, and then we stayed at the Saguaro Hotel, which was like super cute and colorful. Went in the hot tub, drank margaritas, and actually that night, we were only spending one night. That night we were going to go out on the town in Palm Springs, and after the hot tub and pool and we were having drinks in there, we went back to the room and laid down, and we woke up at like 2 a.m. So we totally missed going out that night, but it was such a good time. We went shopping in Palm Springs the next day, and amazing girls trip, right? A little outdoors, a little relaxation, a little shopping.
Yeah, you always have to do the shopping in there too. It's a great way to bond and try on new outfits and hype each other up on your new clothing that you're about to get.
Get a little brunch, maybe a little cocktail, a little mimosa.
But you've done some bigger group girls trips as well.
Well, one of them was with you, actually. We did a girls trip to Palm Desert, and we have an episode on it too. I think it's episode 30. It's way, way back there. And it was you, me, your niece, and the 2 Chelseas. Yeah. So it's 5 of us. So we were jam-packed in that car.
We were, and I think you slept with both Chelseas all in the same bed. You guys like all cuddled one night. Deja and I shared the other bed. We stayed in a sketchy hotel. We're like, we think people live here. But we had so much fun. We went to Joshua Tree. We did the dig out your own cacti. And we came home with like a whole bunch of cacti and little souvenir things. We went hiking. It was a really good girls trip.
It was. And then, of course, that next day, we're out exploring Palm Desert and all the weird desert things that are out there, like Salvation Mountain. What's that lake called out there where all the dead fish are there?
The Salton Sea.
And then West Jesus and all that weird stuff. So just to be like, go on this little adventure with girls where you're like laughing, and it was so fun. The biggest girls trip I ever went on was this trip to Cabo. And this is a quintessential girls trip. Anywhere you go in a Mexican beach destination with a group of girls, you're going to have the time of your life. Like, I will sign up for that trip any day. But this one was 16 girls. It was my friend's bachelorette party. We had a huge property. I didn't know all the girls, but you know, you meet them along the trip. We went out on a yacht. We did a whole table at one of the beach bars there that has all these like funny things on stage for spring breakers. We did dinners. We did this great brunch day. It was just great. And what I love about these types of trips, and even when we go on girls trips, Brittany, the matching outfits are like the coordinated outfit look. We're like, okay, today's a floral day, so we're wearing floral. Or like today we're wearing pink, or, you know, we always like end up with the same piece of clothing, maybe in the same color, maybe different.
Yeah, sometimes I'll even ask you, like, if I see something that you bought recently, I'm like, should I get that so we can match on our next trip?
And the answer is
yes.
It's always
absolutely. Yes. We've been twinning for a long time. We've actually had those dresses. I had that dress that was like a floral dress that we wore in China since like 2011 or 12.
I know, but do you remember back in 8th grade when we both had that red shirt that had like one little strap, and then it was like it was maybe a tube top on one side and a tiny strap on the other?
Yes, it's true. So we've been twinning it since like we were 12.
Yeah. The most recent girls trip, and the last one we'll mention here, is our Havasu Pie Falls backpacking trip that we just did. It was me, Brittany, and 2 other girls, and what a trip. Like, I know Jamal didn't want to go for whatever reasons he had, and God, don't tell him, but glad he didn't go, because making it a girls trip was just so cool.
I didn't want to have to carry his pack and mine down the canyon.
You know, he would have had a freak out at like mile 7.
You guys could have been together.
Yeah, he would have been back with us. But no, his legs probably would have got him there faster. But anyway, girls trips are just such a good time. And I just hope that this episode captures how special they are and really inspires some of you out there to get one on the books for you and your girls.
Yes, highly recommend it. And even if you can't do like a full on long trip, even having like a girls' day is a really great way to like just relax and be in each other's companies. Like I said, I don't do a lot of big girls trips, but when my family is in town, all of the girls get together. We usually do a massage, or we go to brunch, or the spa, and just
or to Magic Mike.
Or go to Magic Mike. Yes, we went to Vegas and did Magic Mike. Well, we were there for my brother's wedding, but side trip to Magic Mike
For just the girls.
for just the girls.
I know we've done like spa days at that Korean spa in San Diego and spend like 4 hours just getting pampered there together.
Yeah, so there's really no excuse. Doesn't matter the length of time. Just do a girls' day, do a girls' trip. Could be a weekend, could be a week-long trip. Whatever it is, whatever fits you and your budget and your friends group, highly recommend doing it.
Yes. Well, thank you, Squatties, for tuning in to this week's Just the Tip.
Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on all the socials at Travel Squad Podcast.
And have fun traveling this weekend.
Bye, Squatties.